Mm-hmm.
Soul Cycle Alchemy, Saturday
Alchemy.
nights.
Yep. Saturday night, America. We're back again.
Right, right, right. I'm just going to go on into the mantra so we can have
Yep. Let's
time.
get into the mantra.
We got to cut
All
it
right.
short by 9 o'clock.
All right. Well, through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible life from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now willing commanded to be is now being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now being and becoming the great primordial dragon god sign, Kundalini flame, now whirling and ascending up our spines from our root chakras to our central heart chakra and on up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amun-El Dragara, our hidden priestly grandmaster Magi, the dragon god, son, king, and queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon god, son, kings, and queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, being becoming our own grand mother dragon god son light being mind ship Merkaba. Now, opening up a super massive black hole folding out of this time space continuum, returning back to our original primordial beginning, returning back to our original primordial station and original primordial DNA blueprint before creation and humanity, and before the fall of our primordial soul, renewing our dark matter energy souls, reabsorbing our original primordial essences, reigniting the divine spark back to its original primordial charge, recharging our infinite souls back with the great mother dragon goddess queen, being and becoming something brand new that's never been, being and becoming one with the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Now, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and total destruction to the multiverse created by the lower multidimensional archonic demiurge, angelic, demonic energies that slayed our primordial souls before creation, using our primordial energy to create this light and energy extraction creation matrix, imprisoning our souls, keeping us ignorant to our true higher selves, so we can feed off of our light through this wicked worldly system until now. Because now's the time of their fall, as our new higher primordial dark matter, dark energy self return back to creation from our primordial beginning, traveling through a supermassive black hole. And our Grandmaster Mother, Dragon God, Sunlight Beam, Mind Ship, Merkaba now ripping through and tearing holes into the space time continuum, circling all corners of the earth, awakening all of the holy divine sparks at once, all shedding their physical cocoons, being and becoming beings of dark matter, dark energy, emitting a new primordial light, now ascending up into the Grandmaster Mother, Dragon God, Sunlight Beam, Mind Ship, Merkaba, along with the infinite soul of Mother Earth, leaving an empty shell behind as we opening up a supermassive black hole, folding out of this creation matrix as it is completely destroyed, as we're all now reunited back with the infinite all as one, now free to begin experiencing true divine love, being and becoming a new primordial universe where the earth is renewed into something beyond description, as our souls are now free to begin our own worlds as kings and queens, exploring a new and never explored universe and multiverse in peace, love, harmony, and balance until this day of Brahma becomes the night of Brahma. Through the power, force, and might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The great nothingness of infinite beingness of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all. All that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and command it to be. Abracadabra, Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe. Fake alien invasion is coming. Yeah. Yep. Oh well.
Well, they've been planning it. They've
Yeah.
already
And in
they've
fact,
already they've already leaked documents, Project Blue Book. You know what I'm saying? You got all type of
Project Bluebeam. In fact, Steven
yeah, Blue
Spielberg
Beam.
is directing it.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, they already told you this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I don't know why
Shit,
people
but you never
surprised.
know. It might be a real one too.
I
Might be
mean,
a real one.
it already have been a real one a long time ago. We are the invaders.
Yep. We are the
Humanity is
invaders.
the invaders. You
Well,
know what I'm saying?
actually, yeah, humanity is the invader. Yeah. Yeah. And now
I mean,
humanity
I
is
mean, I mean, based energetically, like the fact that we literally are nothing more than soul holes for other alien creatures and shit. They've been just using our energy instead. So it's like you got to understand who, like, not necessarily us, because we exist in all dimensions. When you got that melanin, that's
hmm
indicator. That's the indicator that you was with primal mother. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
But just so happened in this uh, lower third density, you have these cosmic ticks that come down here and suck off the light of the melanated race.
right.
It's just a part of this particular matrix because it's
Well,
it's
well, Earth basically is like a not a higher dimension, but it exists on higher dimensions. But Earth is like a central spot for like interdimensional travel. So
you
it's
mean
like
this.
it's a central spot for interdimensional. It's like a what they call a when all the trains come together and shit. What they call that shit?
Oh, like a central station or
Yeah,
con- conjunction
right.
or junction. Yeah.
That's basically what Earth is. It's like you got all of these worlds, and they all converge. You know what I'm
Right here.
saying? With Earth, right here, Earth on Earth.
Uh-huh. Well, it is what it is then.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, this is why I said we the invaders, and says I'm talking about the ones who are the Tamaru, what they
Tamahu.
call them, Tamahu,
Tamahu. Yeah.
because they were created by another race that wasn't originally from this dimension.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
See, there which is a counterfeit spirit here. See, in the
right,
Gnostic text, it teaches about two different counterfeit spirits. The first one look like us, but they ain't us. The second one don't look nowhere near us, and
right.
they definitely
But
ain't us.
it is interesting that national news is talking about there was a number of from my understanding a number of UFOs that have been shot down.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's been all over the place.
Right. So and the
Well,
thing
and
about
not
it
only
is
that.
it ain't like this is the thing. This is we have to be mindful of the trips and traps that they're setting up for us, right? it ain't like they hadn't already known already. I think right now is an opportune time to let us know that they know now. So it
Well,
ain't like they didn't know. They did know. They've been knowing.
see, we see on the 23rd next month of March, Pluto's going into Aquarius, and when that happens, a whole lot of things are going to open up, and it's going to be very possible for something like that to take place during after Pluto going to Aquarius.
Yeah, that
It's
could
going
be
to
a
go in
possibility.
and it's going to come out for, and then eventually it's going to go back in and it's going to stay there for 21 years. And during that 21 years, there's going to be
But
some
mind you,
lot.
look, but mind you, they've been I don't know how long they've been chemtrailing the sky or whatever, but ever since they've been chemtrailing the sky, there's been activity going on around because it's for some reason they want to block us our view of the
The
upper
sun.
view. You know what I'm
They
saying?
want to
They
block
blocking
the
the
sun.
upper view, and it's been a lot of activity going on this planet just based on because you know what I'm saying. I pick up a lot of shit from the spirit realm, so I've
Yeah.
already been noticing it. I've already been noticing it. So is other
Well,
entities there? Like I said. Remember that when I was talking about in a couple of shows earlier? It's like a energy over humanity right now, like a some type of haunting going on over humanity that got humanity in some type of spell right now. They've been on the
well,
spell, but I'm saying this one right here is like next level.
oh, well, yeah. I mean, you go out, yeah, it is on the next level because right now the city is just completely gone. I mean, the people, the homeless people, well, it's a whole new species, a whole new race of people in the city now. A
Oh
whole
yeah,
new,
this is. Remember when was you in Los Angeles or at Los Angeles for all your life, or you came here from somewhere else?
I was born here.
Well, do you know the difference from when I was coming up? I was born here. I mean, not no, I was born here and raised here. I wasn't necessarily born in LA. I was born in Carson General Hospital,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I was raised in LA. So if you recognize in the '80s, this is totally different dynamics going on right now,
Oh,
energetically,
this,
spiritually, and politically. Like
it, it,
it's totally
it's
different,
not,
bro.
it's not even the same place.
It's not the same place. It's really
It's
not.
not
You
nothing.
feel me? It's really
Everything
not.
changed. Everything
Right,
changed. I
right, right,
mean,
right.
which is normal, which is what's supposed to happen. I mean, but the question is it evolving or is it devolving or is it doing both?
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both, but it's really because we have to understand the perception of humanity and what we're emitting from our own experiencing this level of this where we at on this level because every evolution is based on the humans. I mean, human evolution because we came through other different entities too. But every human evolution is facilitated by where are we at mentally, as collectively, not just one person. That's why I always deal with the we and how we
Mhm.
did it because it's like we are actually one entity from a
Yeah,
cosmic perspective,
yeah, we're viewed as one entity, not as individuals.
right? But
Yeah,
from a cosmic perspective, it's
from
like
a cosmic
where are we
perspective.
at? Where are we at where our energy at, and it's really a distrust amongst each other. There's a lot of bad energy amongst each other, so that really is going to facilitate whether we're because we want to. So that's what most people want. They want a certain outcome to come out, but we're gonna perpetuate a certain outcome that's not favorable to us because we're not in our right spiritual and energetic position right now as a whole, like collectively.
Yeah, collectively, that's true. But individually, it's not going to take, it's not. Well, even Bobby Hemmett said that it's not going to be the masses; it's going to be a nucleus.
No, no, I get that, but the nucleus literally has to um, get other people to recognize energetically, not get them to convince them to be kumbaya, get along. No, it's we have to be able to
No, they have to do. We have to get. They have to participate. They have
to
to.
an extent.
They
To
huh?
energetically, they have to participate
Yeah,
with their
energetically.
energy. We give
Yeah,
they like the mass majority of people are giving their energy over to these other entities. So
yeah, yeah.
that's what's happening right now. They giving up their energy. They're like we said, they're soul holes.
Well, that's why you. I watched that video you sent me um, with Bobby Hemmett. I mean, not
No,
Bobby
that was
Hemmett, but
panic.
Brother
That
Panic.
was
Brother
panic.
Panic. Yeah.
Right.
Now you sit down with that brother, he'll get you straight. You might not
No, he
like
was
it.
he was he was just I shared that because he was saying what I was saying last week, and you was like, "Oh no." I was when I was talking about the programming. The program is the spell that we're under. Social
Hmm.
engineering, the social engineering, that all that's a spell that they put on us. We
Oh
have to
yeah.
counter the spell in our own minds. That's all he was talking about. You have to
Hmm.
counter the spell in your mind, because if you don't counter the spell in your mind, then you're not doing the alchemic work, the work that needs to be done.
Yeah, you got to do the shadow work.
Right.
You, yeah, if you, there's
And
no way around that.
right, right. So he was dealing with the programming, how most of us under certain programming, because they are specific when they did their programming to us over the years. They've been
Oh yeah.
specific on creating a certain energetic. When I was talking about cultivating energy, this is how you cultivate it. Your psychology, your emotional disposition, you cultivating your energy. They've done that well. They are master magicians. They are master magi's, or want to be magi's, because they can't be a total magi without the melanin. But they got magi with melanin working with them.
Yeah.
So
That's because they got a group of black nobility that look like us that aren't us, and are the same people that were responsible for the creation are of the Tamahu that look like us are still here,
yeah,
and they're hiding behind their creation, the Tamahu.
right. That's our actual adversary right there.
Yeah,
And I'm not
and
talking
so
about I'm not talking about literally, spiritually.
yeah, spiritual. And so okay, so remember I was telling you about, like, when we were talking during the Super Bowl, and I was telling you I had to get home because I need to do these rituals because of all those people that lost their lives in Turkey. You know, it's like over 40,000, right? 40,000 dead in Turkey. That's a lot of souls going to the other side. So there's a split between both sides. The side that want to keep this paradigm going, they need the energy, and our side that we need the energy to go to the next paradigm. So we have to be doing the rituals to take advantage of this situation and suck those souls into our light.
Right, right, right. But that's necessary too for there to be opposed adversaries to what we're doing. They have to be, because that's part of the evolution, the
Yeah,
balancing.
yeah. The adversary against us is this paradigm. They want to keep the paradigm going, so they stay in power, regardless how fucked up it is. As long as they're in power, they don't give a fuck.
Right, right, right.
But that cannot be accepted. That is been
Well,
completely.
Well, the
Hmm?
thing about the thing about their spell that they have over us, it can be easily broken. It's easily broken, really. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It can be easily broken, and it's crazy because,
Well,
like I always tell
we
people,
have to do the work for that.
they kind of gullible. They kind of gullible. They falling for some of the oldest stuff, and they're pulling some of the oldest tricks in the book on these people.
Well, yeah, but see, that's where we come in. We have see the energy we're getting is brand new. It's coming from out of the ethers. We're getting shit that's never been before. And so, or we're getting back to shit that was a long time ago on the decline, but on the incline.
Right, because we pulling stuff from the higher ethers and bringing it
Yeah, but
down.
now
And
it's on the incline, not on the decline. It's on the incline. This shit is waking up and it's starting to incline. And so they don't have no answer to that. And so this is the energy we have to use to wipe out all the old shit and wake all the divine sparks up. And once we awaken them, we can bypass our humanity and destroy this matrix.
well, at the end of the day, energy can't be destroyed, only absorbed and transmitted. So what we'll do is we'll transmit that energy to something other that's more.
Yeah, we'll just well, when I say destroy, we'll destroy this aspect of it. It'll no longer be, and we'll transcend it into something better or
Yeah, I
something
mean,
beyond.
of course, this is what you were just saying about the energy of these people in Turkey. Transfer. Somebody's going to use it. It's like we get caught up on I mean the paradigm. We get caught up in the parallels. No, I mean we're not supposed to be caught up in the parallels, right?
Uh-huh.
We understand the cosmic, the totality of the cosmic plot. So we don't operate based on, oh, they're going to do this, so we got to do that. No, that's not. No, we don't. It's not that. We supposed to been doing that. Not they doing that because what we doing that. We've been doing that. I mean, we
Yeah,
have
we
our
do that, but
ancestors. We're just continuing to do what our ancestors have been doing already,
yeah, well now
and
it's
it's not necessarily countering them, their energy.
well, well, you can call it what you want, but I call it is getting our energy going back into the vertical. Well, it is. I mean, they want to keep their paradigm going. If we don't do what
And
we're supposed to
it's
do,
going. Look,
and they do what they're supposed to, and they do it,
they're
then the paradigm keeps going, and we stay stuck.
no, they're no. We don't know because like we are omnipresent all the time. There's a part of us here, but there's a part of us other places. The thing we have to do is have this connection between these aspects of ourselves, so we don't be sporadic. We don't be broken down like Osiris into
Well,
14 pieces.
yeah, well, yeah. You connect your chakra with all the other with the chakras of all the other cells, higher cells, and there you will that will take you to true enlightenment.
I think this was the true. This is what the coherent there was a culture on this one cycle on this planet in this dimension where there was a group of coherent beings that had evolved their coherent skills to where they set stuff. That's why this stuff is set up in that respect. It's like everything is set up to where all we got to do is like the signs and symbols. What they talk about, the signs and symbols. All we got to do
Hmm.
is watch the signs and symbols and be in the right place at the right time. Do you know that we can avoid all the natural disasters that's going to happen if we tune in? Like the ancestors already had the foresight to know where to be to avoid a tsunami if it was coming. Because they first of all they knew it was coming before it came, and they knew exactly where to be where it wouldn't affect them. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy that we supposed to be, because we're looking at the enemy as, oh, we got to counter them. No, we are beyond that. That's beneath us. That's devil and God stuff. That's polarities. We're beyond polarity. We're beyond polarity, bro. But polarity is beneath us.
There's a thing where you can have polarity and unity at the same time. You can have
No. I'm
unity
not
and
saying.
polarity within.
Look, I'm not saying an aspect of you is not dealing with the polarity. Remember, we're omnipresent.
Hmm.
So it's a part of you that actually is dealing with the polarity, but the part of you that is evolving beyond that is really realizing that, oh, it's not about the polarity. It's about it's about
This is
recognizing the
about
polarity.
energy.
It's
This
about
is about
recognizing the
energy.
polarity, but not getting caught up in it emotionally, psychologically. Recognize it though.
Dude, this is all about energy, man. This is about energy. This is about
What is
dominance.
about energy? You said this is about energy. What is about energy?
The whole situation. Okay. You're saying, okay, all those souls, all that energy that's being released.
Uh
We both know that something is feeding off of that energy. So it's all about energy.
right.
Okay. And so what you're saying, we don't do nothing.
Nah, that's not what I
We
said.
don't be. Oh,
That's not
what
what
did you
I
say?
said. I said we don't
What's
get
our
caught
role?
up in what they're
What's our
doing.
role in the
We don't
situation?
our no,
What's our
we don't worry about what the
I'm not
adversary.
talking about where. I'm talking about our role. What's our role?
Our role is to exist and experience all these states of consciousness that you evolve into, of yourself that you evolve into, and recognize it as a whole and separate at the same time. So at the end of the day, self knowledge is the purpose, bro. Self knowledge is the purpose. That's the main objective here. Self knowledge, because once you realize that you are this multi-dimensional matrix,
So
and
that means you got a
you are the
role. That means
multi-dimensional matrix. And
okay, but there's some role. Uh, this being okay. What
yeah,
do
your
you?
role is to know yourself. Know
All
yourself,
right,
right?
and
And
then
what is that?
and relate this to the world inside and then the world outside. Now, how do we relate this to the world outside?
Because you have the power to embody everything that you observe and are conscious of. You embody it and you can become it so you can understand it. That's a superpower we have. There's nothing outside of us. Everything is everything.
Well, yeah, of course, I know
We
everything is within,
look, we are look, this is what
but
I'm saying.
what's then is being expressed on the without too. Okay, so and
You are that. That's part of you too.
but
You got to
okay,
discover
so
it,
it's always
understand
going
it.
to be that way, within and without. It's always going to be within and without. Matter, spirit, matter, and energy is going to always exist.
Right. It's all a part of who you are.
It's part of what everything is.
And you are
That's
that
the
every
third level.
and guess what? You are that everything.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I'm past that already. We passed that. I mean, I think we discovered that in others. We discovered that. That's already been discovered. Okay, so now the role.
I told you the role. Discover yourself some more. Discover
I
yourself some
think
more.
that's something that each one must discover within themselves, and then they play that role out.
And what they're going to come to the conclusion of. There's other parts of me that I didn't know about. That's it.
I think by playing the role, the only way to play the role is by already being aware of that.
But see how you say play the role?
No,
We
act
have
the role. Okay,
that's what I
act the
mean
role.
by
Be the role.
superpowers. That's what I mean by the superpowers, though. Both of
Hmm?
us can talk at the same. That's what
Okay.
I mean by superpowers, though. It's like we have the power to embody all things in nature and all things around us. We have that's what I mean by knowing thyself. Do you even know yourself? Like we can we can be arrogant and we can be egotistical and say, "Oh yeah, I know myself." Oh, I know myself. Well, do you know that you are the primal energy of that is the creator of all of known reality?
An
Right? If you
aspect of
know
that
that, then
reality.
if known, I'm saying that's why I said known reality because there's a reality that's unknown too. So, and that's
That's
what I'm
called
saying. That's
ultimate
what I'm
reality.
saying. That's a part of ourselves that we're not. It eludes us at the present moment and the present state we're in. In the present
Yeah,
state we're in, it eludes us. So it's
yeah,
more of figuring yourself out, discovering. That's the main thing in masonry. And I only pull from masonry because masonry ain't nothing but more science. They stole everything from us. You know what I'm saying? But they created an order out of it.
hmm,
When we was doing it, we were just observing nature and recognizing the applications and recognizing the sacred geometry intelligence in it. We recognized it. So in masonry, that's the main thing is the discovery, right? The discovery of what? Discovery of who or what or what you are, what everything is, right? Right. And then when you come to that realization, it's like more questions come up. It's never ending, bro. That shit never ends. Because even in the science, in the more science, it's like it says study thyself and study thyself some more. When you studied yourself enough, study yourself some more. I'm paraphrasing. It's something like that, but we don't understand the self as much as we think we do. A lot of people are confident that they know themselves and they really don't.
well, we already discovered that there's the physical self, there's an etheric self, there's the emotional self, and that's seven. I mean, that's broken down in several planes. And then there's the lower mental self. But what we really are is the higher mental. I mean, man is, higher manus is what man uh, come from, which is the higher mental realms.
When you say
That
we really, really, really are, really, you got to
what
understand that
man,
right there. That's what I'm saying. The programming is in there. What we
what
really are. We are
what
everything
you
and
get?
nothing. We are
Excuse
everything and
me.
nothingness at the same time. So in reality, basically is a construct of the mind. Like you said, I agree with you. Reality is really that the construct of the mind because we construct it with our minds. Everything around us is nothing but a construct of a mind, either a lower mind or a higher mind.
Okay, so when I say ultimate reality is something that will exist even after the universe and everything created no longer exists.
But that's perspective, brother.
And And
That's
when
perspective.
that happens, even the monad and the logos will be over with, would no longer be. But ultimate reality will still be, because only those
So,
things only
okay, so
remain
you
as
just
long as they.
I get it, brother. You just using the word reality for a lack of a word
Yeah,
because
because
reality
it's
doesn't
not,
exist.
it can't be described. It's undescribed. It's undefinable
Right.
with regular, with words, thoughts. It's beyond words.
So I
It's
get it.
beyond being. It's beyond being. Is being is beyond being. It's beyond consciousness. It's called beingness. Is because is it's going to be when the universe is no longer dormant, and when the universe is dormant, no longer exists.
So it's the awareness of the awareness of the awareness of the awareness of the awareness infinity.
Hmm.
Right?
And I'm an
So the
aspect of
original
that.
awareness though, the original awareness, right, kind of predates those prior awarenesses, and they're the awareness before that, but it wasn't. That's the wrong word to call it. Awareness.
Beingness, a
That's the
beingness.
wrong word to call it. You can't call it
Yeah,
awareness.
you can't call it that. Belaski broke it down to beingness,
Beingness.
beingness, or
I
yeah,
mean, that's the
beingness.
same as awareness, though, because you're being. That's
No,
just another word
beingness.
for
Be not
awareness,
being.
or presence,
She's
or
not saying
recognizing
being.
presence.
She's not
Huh?
saying being. She's not
Oh,
saying being. She's saying beingness.
beingness.
Ben, beingness. To be. It
Beingness.
is beingness,
Is that a
not
word?
being.
Is that
That's
a
the
word?
word she came up with. That's the oh, that's the
Hey, guess what? She got
what?
the right fucking idea. You supposed to be coming up with some shit. You supposed to be
Yeah,
coming up with some shit. I swear to God, you supposed to. Right now, we supposed to be defining this shit, coming up with new words and shit.
yes. Rapping, when you rap, try to wrap your mind around something that's fucking unfathomable. It
Right.
expands your
You're gonna
consciousness.
have to create. You're gonna have to create something to encompass that idea because it may not even be familiar. It's been here, but it's been eluding humanity so long that they don't even have a word for it.
No,
There's not a
because
word
it's
for
not,
it.
because it's outside of this whole fucking
So
realm.
we
It's
have to start creating words instead of living in the paradigm of words that have already been given to us. And what the word that colloquially we've been using is really a construction,
uh-huh,
a
of
construction of
constructing our own prison.
right. They look in the construction was meant to be a prison, a
Yeah,
mental prison. It's a mental
yeah,
prison. We are in prison through our own lack
our
of
own words.
understanding.
Yeah,
Look,
our own
look. Let me
linguistics.
finish. Let me finish. We are in
Uh-huh.
prison. I mean, I'm talking about we because I always say we because I don't separate myself from the whole. I don't. I always recognize. Nah, I say we. Okay, so we
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
we basically are. What was I talking about before I said that? What was you talking about?
Oh shit.
And that's very spiritual when you forget like that. That's
Yeah.
we thinking that's some oh you just forgot and you smoking weed you forgot. No, it's spiritual because what happens is what happens is that thought probably wasn't even meant to even come about right now. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't meant to
Mhm.
come about. This is how intricate this when you are working from a quantum level of
Yeah.
understanding. It's not just our the presence that we see as presence, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
omnipresence, right? It's not like she said. She made up a word. Be in. I got to
No,
make up a
beingness.
word that explains
No,
this.
beingness. B and then dash NESS.
Rick, now I got to make up my own word for it now. Because I don't want to go by nobody else's ideas of it. So I'm saying I want to make up work. That's a good ass idea. I love that. She made
Yeah,
up her own fucking word to explain it. That's
yeah.
what you're supposed to be fucking doing right now.
And the
We're
great thing,
supposed to be doing that right
it came
now.
from the feminine. It came from the feminine mind. It was born, birthed from a feminine mind. So now, oh, hey, I mean, I can use it until to help me birth something beyond that.
Right.
Yeah, because you know, this is sex going on in the mind. The pituitary gland and the pineal gland, the hypothalamus gland, they be in there just fucking and fucking and fucking and fucking, and new ideas are born.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, I mean the pineal gland is a dick. The one of them is like a vagina. The other one, the pituitary.
Right. Well, there's really little difference energetically, spiritually between the phallus and the clitoris.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, mhm. Because everything's is a female. We all start off as a female in the womb.
I say that the feminine energy facilitates the process of you coming into being a fetus. So the feminine
Okay.
energy is going to be present, like because the masculine is always there too. It's just not, you know what I'm saying? It's just not as abundant as the present in that process of creating the from going from from going from nothingness or the ethers into a fetus. The feminine energy facilitates that whole process. So
Well, the feminine energy is the
that whole,
matrix. The matrix is the feminine energy.
we
The,
are
ma-
not we not a female. We not a female when we when we are fetus. You are not. You don't have a gender at the time.
okay.
You don't have a gender. You
You don't have a
what happens is it literally depends on the hormonal balance of the mother and the father whether you become a woman or a man.
okay. Oh, you see what you see the saying when y'all. Oh, yeah, something. He said when we were going to start our super chat.
I mean, this is a super chat is based in monetary, and this is not really. I mean, I don't mind people giving support or whatever. If that's what you need, but that's not what we're about. Is
Y-
trying to
y-
monetize this program or nothing. I'm not necessarily. Now, if you want to send donations, if you got any donations you want to send, we're not going to turn them down. But at the same time,
but
that's not what we about.
yeah,
That's not what
I
this
mean,
program is about.
I get up there and
That's why I
go.
don't. That's why I don't even talk about. You know what I'm saying? Share
Mhm.
and you know what I'm saying. I want people to gravitate to it on an organic, spiritual, organic level,
Yeah, we
because
want this to be as genuine as possible.
right, right. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like it's not even just necessarily trying to be righteous. It's just allowing the energy to flow as it would be, like not imposing. You know what I'm saying? Because what we're talking about when we talk about on this show, it has to be people who are interested in this level of consciousness. Like it's acquired taste. It's not for everybody.
No, it's not for everybody. No,
It's
but
acquired.
for the ones who who does uh, gravitate to this, it may help them open up, you know, new chambers in the mind or in their brain that wasn't there before, where they can come up with new ideas and new ways of thinking. And by them coming up with new ideas and new ways of thinking, they'll be manifesting on a whole different level.
Also, if people genuinely support like do promotions for us. Like they will share one of our clips and share it. Man, of course, like, we encourage that because
Oh yeah, you can do that.
that's gonna be a genuine, organic, spiritual effort on your part to do that. It ain't like
Mhm.
we're trying to press the issue on that. No.
Yeah, it's all about opening up a whole new way of thinking, so that way we're online with a whole new universe coming in, bringing in a whole nother universe, bringing in a whole nother earth,
If we
whole
creating it right, we're gonna
yeah.
we're literally creating a whole reality, a whole nother reality. Like
Hmm.
you swipe it clean, and we're responsible creating a whole nother reality. We have to do it based on what's in us, like what we already like. Of course, we got to balance the energies out. Of course, we got to balance the energies out within ourselves in order for us to
Hmm.
take on these things. Because that's a lot of times what be the problem is people take on challenges, but they're not dealing with their spiritual and emotional self going into that challenge. You have to deal with that stuff. So if we are to create a whole nother reality, we're going to have to deal with the spiritual essence. I'm talking, and I'm not saying when I'm saying we now, I'm just talking about the magi's.
Yes.
Man,
Hmm.
we're going to have to deal with those. Everybody has to do their dark work, man. Got to do your
Yeah.
dark work.
You know, if we all do the work, we're gonna it's gonna have an effect. It's gonna cause a we're gonna reach a certain critical mass, and all the souls are gonna wake up. Everybody's gonna wake up.
Well, I don't think everyone's gonna wake up, but
And let me
all
get
eyes
back
will
with
see the
you on the
prophecy will be
podcast.
fulfilled.
Okay.
The prophecy will be
All right.
fulfilled, and all eyes will see, all ears will hear. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main objective for me for the evolution to proceed as it was prophesied to proceed.
And not only that, we all
Everybody don't have to be woke. Everybody don't have to be woke, bro. I swear. It's
yeah,
like you're
but
saying, everybody, because they're gonna give their like what I'm saying is they're gonna give over their energies to this evolution willingly. They're gonna give it up
yeah.
willingly.
Well, well, actually, when this flash happens, when this supernal flash happens, and those divine sparks awaken to their true selves, they ain't ever going back to the way they were, and we ain't ever, and we go to something else. They become what they really supposed to become, or what they can become.
Well, that's gonna be based on because over time, right? This is why there's a disaster period. There's a time of abundantness or what appears to be abundantness, and a time of desperation or depression or whatever, right? That adversity is going to change the whole chemistry, emotional disposition, emotional and psychological disposition of everyone. That's why I'm always talking about embracing all of these so-called hardships that are coming. That's why I say so-called hardship because they only hardships because we've been enabled all these years. We've been enabled. Now we got like a weak character. We can't like ancient times they was able to survive off the land. Why do we think that we're advanced? Why do we think that we're advanced? Because now we got running plumbing and we're advanced now because we got civilization, so-called civilization. We're advanced. No, we're not advanced. That's some bullshit.
Well, I
The
don't think there's
ancestors, the
anything wrong with
ancestors were advanced,
civilization.
bro.
I don't think there's wrong with anything. I don't think there's anything wrong with civilization. It's just it's
Why are you saying that? That's not what I didn't say anything was wrong with civilization. I'm saying
okay.
we think we're advanced and we call it civilization. We're not
Oh,
advanced.
oh, well, yeah. Well, civilization. Well, there's a difference between civilization and civilized barbarism. We live in civilized barbarism. or we
Well,
live in
to me,
a
and when you looking at,
civilized.
go ahead.
We live in some type of. Well, it's not. It's becoming very uncivil.
Well,
It.
when you look at it from the Gnostic point of view, civilization is more of human shit. It's more human bullshit. That's really what it is. Come on now.
Civilization.
It's just more human bull crap. All it is. Now I'm not. My thing is because I'm not an advocate of us sensely doing things that will be considered uncivilized. I'm not. It's not. I don't believe in senseless killing and senseless destroying of the land and the environment, our ecosystem. Nobody don't really know about the ecosystem, but the ecosystem is a nature or physical example of the spiritual ecosystem, right? There's a spiritual ecosystem where when they say what you do comes back to you or whatever,
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, we're ignoring that in what we call civilization. See what I'm
So
saying?
you
So
now.
I'm not an advocate of civilization, but I'm not an advocate of savagery either.
I'm not an advocate of this civilization, but I'm an advocate of civilization, but not this particular civilization.
I mean, from
Because
a
I don't.
spirit,
I don't
like I
consider
said,
this.
let's get it in perspective. Because, like I said, from a spiritual perspective, that is more human shit. But from a human perspective, yeah, we want to have civilization.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
So,
now on the spiritual aspect, I mean, like I said before, I didn't come from down here. My origin isn't from here. My origin is from the higher realms. So it's about getting back to these higher realms. And when I get back up there, only thing I'm gonna leave this shell behind here.
okay, I think it's about being able to go to from a higher level to lower level at will fluently.
Yeah. So you go to the higher levels, to the mental levels, and then after you done,
You know
you
how you know how
go.
you know how Jesus went to hell and he brought back some souls, that type shit.
Well, okay, yeah, but now going to the high, okay, once you get, I feel I can go to the higher mental levels, and if I want to, I can incarnate again and down here if I want to, but I really don't have to.
What if you don't have to incarnate and still be able to facilitate change at this all these lower levels? You can do that. This
That'll be
we
my shell.
we have been misled to think reincarnation is really necessary.
Well, that would be my shell that's left over. It can do
Like the
that work.
personality that because yeah, that shit gonna it's like a never ending stream. This is how you can actually go back in time because all you're going is going back into those streams of memory, those streams of mental experiences that you went through. That's what you're going back to, but it appears to be a physical experience, but it's all mental.
Yeah, it's all mental, appearing
Right.
physical and
So
emotional. Do I? Oh, do you think we come from civilization beyond the ice walls? That's very possible.
right. Well, come from like you use the word we come from. I think we come from the higher ethers. Like we have no origin story in that respect. That's why a lot of times they try to explain those cosmologies. Those cosmologies was attempting to understand our origins, right? Through because they understand that through understanding our origins, they understand their origins because they feel like we created them.
Yeah, but now he's talking about. I think he's talking about before they even came into the picture. Now, did we come from over the
I
ice wall?
mean, before this construct that we're in, we was going back and forth through all these different planes of existence. You know what I'm saying? They locked us
Hmm.
down to make us believe that we can only exist in this one plane right here,
Well,
right? The
well,
custodian.
our evolution came to this anyway. I mean, this is where because we had to come down here to the physical realm, to the bottom of the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to go back up. But as we're down here in the bottom of the bottom, it makes it very possible for all these different other entities or different energies to manifest and have some type to appear like they have some type of dominion and power over us while we're down here on this lower level. But now that we're starting to go back, you know, back where we were when we descended into Atlantis. Now we're ascending into Atlantis, going ascending back up beyond Atlantis and beyond that level and beyond that level. These energies down here won't have no more. They're just going to burn off. But
Okay, so
they want to keep us down here on this horizontal level because as long as we're down here with them on this horizontal level, they get to remain in power.
well, it
Even if
goes back into what I was just saying about your energetic, emotional, psychological disposition, because that's
mm-hmm.
what they're playing off of. My whole lecture, and I got to continue the lecture of mastering your demons. Is your genius, right?
Well, no, I'm saying we taking now we play like the gods. We play the role of the gods. We go and
Okay,
get
but
these
listen, how do
souls
you apply? How do you apply your power of a god? How do you apply it?
through your higher
I'm teaching
self,
you how to apply it.
higher
Nah,
man.
you just saying. I'm telling. You just said just a word that I'm telling you how to actually apply it by understanding your own demons and your own angels, right? And
Okay, all
that's
right,
breaking down. That's broken down in your emotional and psychological disposition. You got to understand yourself because you are the all of that exists within you.
okay.
So you have to master the emotional self. Like you got to. I would suggest people go watch the Green Lantern origin story. It's on YouTube. You can watch the Green Lantern Guild origin story and how they were literally dealing with those energies. they The red represents anger, the green represents pride and something like that. Like all of these different colors that they're dealing with, and all of them got different rings for different guilds. You got the yellow Green Lantern Guild, you got the red Green Lantern Guild, you got the Green Lantern Guild, and they all talking about emotions and energies that we all have within us. But they're they're telling you in a sense of how that energy is beneficial or is detrimental. So it's a must that you master it. You gotta go. You gotta just watch this shit. They be breaking that down. They be breaking that down. The Green Lantern and the
Mm-hmm.
or the Green Lantern guilds because they got all type. We think it's just the Green Lanterns, right? Because that's what they giving us.
I know they
Oh,
got
oh,
different
they got
colors.
the yellow lanterns. They got the red lanterns. They got the orange lanterns. They got the purple lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these represent different emotions, bro.
What well, the sound to me is there's this the spectrum of the chakras.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. But that's exactly how you master your chakras is the mastering your own psychology and your own emotions.
yeah.
right? So, because if you see what I was talking about in Master Your Demons and Your Genius, is talking about what an actual demon is. A demon is a psychological dark entity that you create in your mind, right? You
Mm-hmm.
create this entity in your mind. They call it an intellectual being, or like they literally. See, people are gonna say, "Oh, but this is science that backs this up. This is metaphysical science that backs what I'm saying up." Right? So, and then you got demons that represent emotional aspects of your energy, right? So, what they're talking about when I'm saying that the Solomon, the soul story about Solomon, and mind you, Solomon didn't just have control of the demon world, right? He had the full cooperation of the angelic world,
Yeah, he had the upper keys and the lower keys.
right? Because the angels was helping him in any way he could do to build the temple of man too, right? And then in that story, right? I never heard this before where an angel was the father of a demon. That was crazy to me, and that kind of confirmed my ideas about how these polarities, right, are just aspects of yourself that you have to bring into a meditation. You got to bring them into a center and bring heaven down to earth, right? And also vice versa, bring hell into heaven. Nobody ever talks about that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that great war is. The cosmic war that always been fought, which is always the conclusion of their cosmology. It was a great war. Well, that's the inner war going on inside of you, man. Damn. This shit is crazy. And that's all based on these. We don't even understand the diversity of energy that dwells within us, bro. There is so many different diverse types of energy that we're dealing with, and we have to bring them all into a focus. We have to all in consolidation.
You talking about you talking about beyond the emotional realm, or you talking about on the mental
On
realms?
the lower emotional realm and on the higher psychological realms too, right?
Psychological realms? Okay, spiritual, mental realms then.
Then okay, so what happens is on the spiritual level, right? Because the spirit and the psych and the mind, they kind of bleed into each other, right? So things that are happening on a spiritual level, right, is kind of facilitated by your psychology. Where you at in your development? And what I'm saying, psychology is not talking about going to see a psych, but that's part of it too, because you going to see a psychiatrist, you're doing dark magic, you're doing dark work. Nobody will recognize it because they're going to dig into your subconscious and bring out
Oh,
some shit.
yeah,
Bring
the
out
subconscious is the dark side. Yeah, okay.
they're gonna dig out some damn demons, okay? And you got to bring them to the forefront. Dig them up, bring them all out.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? Because that's the only way you're gonna evolve. You're gonna evolve by doing this. So yeah, going to see a psychiatrist is part of doing the dark work. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
part of doing the dark work. Because not the traditional psychiatrist. When I'm saying a psychiatrist, like a reader, um, like somebody who reads the energy, the spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by so-called psychiatrists. Because those are the ultimate psychiatrists, readers. You know what I'm saying? They can read the spirit realm. They can understand, or they can feel the spirit realm, and they can they can tap into that spiritual realm, into your energy, and kind of really read where your energy is. You should be able to do that. You should be able to do that, but it's nothing wrong with getting somebody who's genuine, because a lot of these people, they're not genuine either. So you got to get a genuine reader, because some of them are using it to take advantage of people.
Your
That's why
spirit will guide you to your spirit. If you're on the right path and you're doing the right inner work, your spirit
the
will guide
spirit's gonna lie.
you.
Yeah, I agree with that. You're right. The spirit gonna lead you to people who's gonna help you. The spirit gonna bring these people amongst you,
And
or
it'll
even
guide you away from the ones or
it'll facilitate your development in understanding and reading your own energy.
yeah, but you have to already be doing the work inwardly. You have to already be on the path. You already be doing the magic, be doing the rituals, doing
Right,
the energy work.
but once you start development, it's an endless work. You know, the great work is endless, so it'll never end. But once you get there, you'll be so beyond and transition beyond certain human dispositions that it's like, damn, you're gonna. It's like, I know why people have midlife crises now. I know because your spiritual development, right, could
Mm-hmm.
precede
It's
your mental
underdeveloped.
development. Your
Yeah.
spiritual development could precede your mental development, right? You're not mentally there yet,
Oh.
but your spirit is on some other shit now. It's vibrating on higher levels where you don't care. Like, this is a perfect example. People who still subscribe to the Judeo-Christian perspective of spirituality. But but they say in their conference, right? And then sometimes I say, "Oh, we God," and then they go back to the same Judeo-Christian programming about that concept. No, if you God, then that doesn't apply anymore. That doesn't apply anymore. You can't apply the same logic that they've given you to keep you trapped in your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is your spiritual is going like this, because nobody can stop the spirit from evolving from one level to the next level, and then you got to catch up to it now. Your emotional self got to catch up to it. Your psychological self got to catch up to the spirit. Is on a whole nother level now. It's
Yeah,
evolving.
yeah.
Your spirit is on a whole other something else now, but you still mentally, I got God. You are God, motherfucker.
But see, your lower self can never catch up to that because
I'm not saying your lower self. I'm not saying your lower self. See,
but you
I'm
said
saying
emotion. But
emotionally. Look,
but
emotionally,
that's
you come to grasp with it, and not you don't have this emotional disposition where it's inhibiting your God powers. You can be at a low spiritual development, whole low mental
but
development,
what is
where
your
it's
God
going to
power?
inhibit your spiritual development now.
But where do our God powers come from?
I mean,
It would have to be higher manas because
it
higher
comes from
manas
the primal. It
was
comes from the primal energy, bro.
it
It
has
comes
to,
from the
well,
primal energy.
but higher manas has to be part of primal energy too.
Okay, look, check this out. What a perfect that's crazy because I'm always using programs because what I'm saying is I'm using the program because don't deal with the program. You got to evolve beyond the programming that they're trying to inhibit, right? And recognize that they're using ancient ideas and principles in these concepts. That's why you got
Oh
to break
yeah,
it down like that.
try to
Right?
use our old
Look, a good one to recognize where the energy comes from, right? You actually where the energy comes from, right?
hmm
You got to watch that new Shazam movie because the whole movie is going to be based on how, because Shazam is basically taking the God's energy and he became a super being, right? Now,
Hmm.
Shazam is a brother. That's great. Shazam is a brother. See, they telling us stuff, man.
Yeah, but
Shazam
even
is a
though,
motherfucking brother.
okay, but even if they're trying, okay, they're taking our ancient knowledge and trying to manipulate it. It's still our ancient knowledge, still our knowledge.
No, no,
They're
no. You're
still
right.
going to take it.
You're right. That's why you. That's
Okay,
exactly
but
right. Right.
see, they're making a mistake by doing that because now they're spoon.
No, no, no. I don't think. I don't think they're. I don't think they even mindful. I think it's so beyond them that they're doing it inadvertently. They don't even know they're doing it. They're thinking in their eye. They like, oh, we're gonna add this occult in this code. They don't understand the occult. Remember, they only got 33 and 1/3 degrees, right?
Yeah, they're giving me all my 360
But that's
degree
the
knowledge.
point. That is the point. That is the point, bro. That is the point. That is the
Yeah, just
point.
feed me. I mean, feed me.
That
Now,
is the point, right? Because they can't go there. That that symbolism can't can't even can't even be useful to them. It's not even useful to them at all.
it's
Now
useful to
they
me
can they
though.
can back engineer the technology. What they do is they back engineer the technology, right? And then present. They use it to keep themselves in power on this lower vibrational level. That's it. That's all they can do. That's it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because they
Okay.
can't take it to the next level, basically. But but I think inadvertently this Hollywood writers, right? Mind you, they be channeling spirits. They know they're known for channeling spirit,
Yeah,
especially
we know about all
screenplay
that.
writers.
Okay.
Especially screenplay writers. Why you think they coming up with their screenplays or their stories that they writing? They channeling this shit, bro. Now if they channeling this shit
So
inadvertently.
now,
They bringing
so
stuff
what's
from
our
higher.
role? So
Right,
what's
they're
our
bringing
role?
stuff from higher ethers and bringing it down here.
Okay, so they're playing their role. So I'm
Yeah,
when okay, so we
they
should be
are.
talking about the role we supposed to be playing.
I told you our role. You ain't okay. Our role is discover who you are more and more as much as you possibly can. That's your role. Discovery of self.
And then when that happens, then that means you
There's
start
endless. What do
manifesting
you
on
mean
a
it happened?
whole
You
different
said,
level.
look what you just said. When that happens,
As
right?
that happens,
If that happens, that sentence is speaking in past tense, or if that happens, like it's past, like it. No, it's never going to stop happening.
so the point I'm trying to make is then that means we will begin manifesting on a whole different level. And if we start manifesting on a whole different level, then that means that things will begin changing down here. We
You
can
already are.
begin changing. We can begin. Our role is to manifest, is to become the master manifester that changes this whole paradigm.
Okay, so
Yes, and in order to do that, you
how
must know
do
what
you manifest? How do you manifest? Is it a physical manifestation where we construct things, and how do you manifest, one brother? You got to go within and bring things out.
well, don't you listen to my mantras? Why are you asking me that? You asking the choir the question. I say it in my mantras all the time.
No, I'm speaking to the general audience.
Oh,
No, I'm speaking to
yeah.
the general audience.
Oh, you're speaking
You
to
know
the
what I'm saying?
audience. Oh, I thought you were
Right,
speaking to
right, right.
me. Okay,
See, but that's
all right.
that's what I'm saying. Like the ego is one of the main human things that we got to bring into control. The ego, because that's humanity right there. That's the demiurge, right? Because it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the energy. Like you
But let's
said, it's
talk
about
about
the
the role
energy.
we're supposed to be playing, though. Okay, okay. Now we're at a critical state, and at this point in our time in evolution. So I feel me myself. I can only speak for myself. So when I was talking about doing rituals, tapping into that energy that's being released from all those souls that were ascended, and absorbing that energy into our sun, into our inner sun, can give us the it makes our sun more massive, to where uh, our energy becomes more powerful than the opposing side. And so we're able to manifest the reality that we're supposed to be manifesting, so we can go to the next realm and leave this shit behind.
Okay, but to me, all that sound like is the same cliche programming from that old paradigm that you're saying you
A
evolving from.
cliche. Okay.
It's
Well,
cliche. If you
okay.
unless you make up something that you say we're creating a whole new world, so it's not. You gotta be we're creating a whole new world,
Well,
right? We're creating a whole new existence.
excuse me.
So there can't be nothing in the cliche. The cliche is the programming.
What's the cliche?
The cliche is that same, oh yeah, we're gonna defeat the enemy and we're gonna eventually evolve,
No,
and
that's
that's
not. No,
cliche.
that's not. That
That's
no, that's
cliche, bro.
that's
We're
the
gonna we're
enemy.
gonna oppose the opposite side, and eventually we're gonna win over them. And no, that's human shit. Cliche programming. That's what they want
Okay.
to do. Oh, it's the
Mm.
opposite side to us. No, the opposite is us. We created that to have a foe.
Well, you know what? There must be a foe, because look where we're at right now. There must be something we have to overcome, because if not, we
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
be
yeah,
where we
yeah,
are
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
We created a foe to overcome it. Yeah,
Yeah, there
and
must
the
be.
foe that
Yes,
we
but
created,
to say that there's nothing for us I mean, that
the foe
it's
that
a
we created.
cliche for. I guess it's a cliche for us to be where we are right now too, huh?
Everything is a cliche unless we making it up. We authoring it our damn selves. Yes, it's a cliche.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I love like how is when you was talking about Madame Blavatsky, she came up with her own word to describe something that's indescribable,
Yeah.
right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're doing.
I feel that's what
The,
I'm doing
the,
too.
the cliche in the
I
programming.
feel like I'm doing.
Now we got to distinguish between we got to because what do I mean? How do we get out of the programming, right? We get out of the programming by recognizing that the snake in ancient time represented wisdom. It didn't represent evil. The devil is just the lower aspect of your energy that you need to bring into a control of, and you need to master over. I mean, right?
Okay. Hmm.
Demons, demons are this is demons are not what we think of them are like these scary entities that haunt us, and no, that's not what they are. They can be because you are under that spell or that programming of them. That's what they are.
Hmm.
So that's what I mean. The cliche, the programming is we're going to continue to. That's what Panic was talking about. Breaking the
Mm.
spell. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way we're going to do a ritual that's effective is if we are not under the spell of the ancient. Because they did what happened was not the ancient, but the modern construction of words that from the ancient word it was because those words that were spoken in ancient times was spoken on the principles of understanding magic. They understood magic, bro. They understood words
Okay. So what's our
had
role right now?
vibration. They understood
What?
words had vibration. They understood they had intention on a whole nother level that can have ramifications on this level. So we have to be mindful of the our nature, our true nature, as being the magi, the ones who are the alchemists, the ones who have the primal energies within us to bring about that whole new swipe the slate clean. Remember in them, if you watch the Matrix movie, right? There was a scene where they were just white, all white. That was outside of that was not the Matrix right there. That was just
Wasn't it like the same room that Neo went to go talk to the
right. And
architect?
then remember he was able to manifest anything he wanted just by thinking about it in that room.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking
that
about.
was they were in a mine. They were outside
Exactly. But
physical
guess what?
reality.
We are in our minds right now, and guess what? Our mind is full of spells and cluttered with constructs that we didn't create.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Now,
that's true
once
too.
we start creating our own constructs,
Hmm.
then our rituals, I mean, based on how the ancestors carried on their rituals and spells, we're going to continue in that, right? Because we are ancestors without doubt and contradiction. So all we're doing
Hmm.
is continuing what we did in ancient time and coming back right now and doing it again.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, yeah.
So it's the
So
return
I
of the
agree.
ancient one.
But see, this is the thing though. Even Bobby Hemmett said this. Our whole purpose here is to fucking destroy this whole fucking universe and bring in a new universe. Go from universe A to universe B.
Right, and I'm
But I was
explaining
feeling that.
how that's
I
going to be
was
done.
feeling, huh?
What I've explained is if you go back into the show, y'all just go back in the show. I just explain how that's going to be actually done.
Yeah, through changing changing the shit that they put in our mind, and we start creating our own concepts.
No doubt. But yeah,
Yeah, I
I
agree
gotta.
with that. That I agree with. That I agree with. Hmm. No doubt about
Okay.
that. I'm with you 100% on that one. We
Well,
destroyed the artificial shit that they tried to the program they tried to put in, the seeds that they planted for. So so that will be there for their benefit, and they can just reap the harvest. They can just attract us in, and and manipulate that fruit that seed produces to their advantage.
right.
Yeah, but now we're producing we're constructing our own inner construct. We're manifesting from that level. We're seeing the world from a whole nother inner constructive level and trying to project it outwardly.
Order out of chaos beings of order and beings of chaos.
See, the way we change universe A to universe B is bringing B, creating universe, cultivating the universe B that's within to the point to where it reaches a critical mass to where it start manifesting without.
That's always how the energy. That's the nature of the energy. Always.
Yeah, that's our role. That's the role I'm talking about.
We just said the same thing.
Okay, then we're on the same
But
page.
that's what I'm saying. The ego always steps in and always acts like if we said something different. We didn't say nothing
Oh,
different. That's
oh,
the
okay.
ego always gonna come in and try to make it appear that we at odds with each other. Nothing I
Yeah,
said was at odds with what you said.
nothing. I guess they just. No, I'm just.
So yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing. But get your last words in. We went a little bit early. I mean, a little bit more than I wanted to do, but we got to cut it short at
Well,
nine
I guess
thirty.
it was needed. Well, remember I was talking about the death cross? Well, we're a little bit ways from the death cross. We went into the death cross and then we uncrossed. Now we're in what I call the death grip. It's only one of the two, death cross or death grip. We're in the death grip. Rates going up. Everything's so
Right.
yeah. So the grip
Death
is
is
gonna
no
get so
enemy. Death
huh?
is no enemy of man.
No, no, but while we're down here on this physical plane, let's make hay while the sun shines. So we can be in a so we can bring in the next universe. But we can't do it if we're in a place of distress. We gotta be standing on solid ground. So we have to put ourselves in a favorable position where we can be the shamans that bring in the new we the new universe is already within us. So we cultivate that energy so it can come be without us, so it can manifest outside of us. And we're talking about the energy as it manifests, the old world demanifests.
Right. That process is omnipotent in itself. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You
Mm-hmm.
literally you literally have to jump from one plane of existence to another plane of existence to another plane simultaneously. Like it's crazy. I'm talking about, and then what happens is it's all basically what I was talking about, how you consolidate these ideas, these forces, these everything that this diversity of energy that you are, because you are a diverse energetic inner entity. It's so many different diverse levels of energy that you facilitate that all of the energetic processes of the universe. It's
Yeah.
facilitated through your melanin. That's why melanin. When I read Melanin the Key, and it literally talked about how melanin is like a processor for light. Right? It takes light and it processes it, and it uses that light, because light is information. It takes that light and processes that light. This is what we're doing. This is what our whole. That's another aspect of a purpose of our life, is we supposed to be processing all these different energies inside of us and
Well,
recognizing it as that oneness.
well, I wonder what type of effect does Manus, higher Manus, and melanin have on one another.
I mean, there is nothing outside of the great. Melanin is nothing but an expression of primordial energy.
Hmm.
So yes, it's everything in the universe has this primal energy within it.
But I believe that that's the aspect of it that makes the super being or the super beingness.
Right, when you master it within yourself.
Yeah,
Yes,
when you
because
master it within ourselves,
yeah,
we
you
can
master
create
it
the
within
super
yourself.
beingness. Yeah.
Right, when like what confirmed that from the spirit realm is how the medic genetics of in the Marvel, no, the DC world, they got meta genes. They got something called meta genes, which is a latent aspect of humanity's genetics that wakes up when it's some type of natural disaster come out, and some guys, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And
Hmm.
it comes out when it comes out, that latent genetics comes out when some type of disaster happens, similar to how the female picked up
We're
the
we're
picked up the car when her baby, she her baby up under it.
yeah. Hmm. We're 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 just steps away from that moment happening to us on a global scale to
But you see,
where
now you see why I embrace it now. I want these things to happen because something's going to come online that is going to be unexpected for everybody.
well, I know one thing: as more and more souls pass crosses over to the other side, I know one thing: the we I make sure that I'm doing the rituals where my higher self within the higher sun is picking these souls up. Because remember, where do our ancestors go to live when they die? They go inside
Inside of
of us.
us. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah. So I'm
And guess
bringing them
what?
inside.
And
Huh?
guess what? Guess what?
What?
Those
What?
people, those people who died in India, you their
No,
ancestors.
Turkey.
You their ancestors. So they inside of you.
Yep.
Already. They inside of
Yep.
us.
Yep.
So yeah, with that, I gotta go. So we'll be
Mm-hmm.
back next Saturday. Oh, we'll
Yep.
be back next Saturday.
We'll be back.
Good looking out for coming through too, brother, all the time
You thank you.
and
We
spreading the
appreciate
knowledge.
it. Yes. Like the movie Inception.